Hello. Hello. Good evening. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Hello, everyone. Good evening from Lagos, Nigeria. And I am Ebunlomo Fawole. Welcome to the Unspoken Series Day 5. Let me first apologize that we couldn't come online yesterday because I had to be involved in some things and it wasn't easy for me. The timing was not in favor, and so we decided to move it today. Unfortunately, it is Valentine's Day. Yay! How did it go? Who wants to share? Who wants to share? Do you want to share with me? Uncle B, how did it go? Christy, how did it go? I want you people to share. How did Valentine go? I hope you had a beautiful time. Okay, some people is still going. Yeah, it's actually celebrated at night most. Gagam. People are going out. Gagam. Wow, thank you very much once again. Yeah, on Monday we started a series, a 5-day series, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had female guests, and the day 4, we had a male who came to give us expositions, came to let us know how men react. He made us understand that men also cry. It's just an assumption. And because of our assumption, we put pressure on men. We make them sometimes do the things they don't want to do. He also helped us to understand that you don't have to react in a very negative way as a man because divorce happened, and that when divorce happens, there are some people navigate towards the negative side, while some to the positive side, right? And he made us to understand that the people who also react to the negative side, it's not as if it is their fault. And that is part of a conversation we're going to be having today. Once again, this is brought to you by Sunshine Hub and Men's Locker Room, a community where everybody in the community are either divorced or separated. And the Unspoken series is just to help us know that we can go through this and still be better people. Yeah, divorce is not the end of your life. It is an opportunity to live life again and on your own terms. And if you remember what Isaac said on Thursday, he said something around working on himself, trying to improve on himself to be a better person. And he's now deliberate and intentional about the things he does, about the way he talks, about the people he interacts with, about the way he behaves, so that anywhere you go, you leave good impressions on people. So thank you once again, everyone. Tonight, I have another male. Joining me. And his name is, we call him Uncle B. We call him Uncle B in the community. He is Abiola. So, Uncle B, do you want to send me a request to join? I think my internet. Please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. I need to be sure you can hear me. Uncle B, if you are still there, please drop a message in the comment section. Let me be. Okay. Thank you, Tolu. You can hear me loud and clear. I was supposed to bring Uncle B in, but I can't see him anymore. I was supposed to bring Uncle B in, but I can't see him anymore. Uncle B, if you're still on the call, please send a request. Oh, okay. So if you guys can take note, I am not in my natural habitat. The ecosystem has changed. And the internet here is not so good. Okay, I see it now. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm still trying to do this. Uncle B, I sent the request now. Please refresh your internet and let's see if you can come up now.
Okay, can you see me now?
Well, I can hear your voice loud and clear, but I cannot see you. We need to ask the people in the house if they can see you. Guys, Wale, Tosin, Doi Folake, please confirm if you can see Uncle B.
Hello?
Okay. Uncle B, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure that the audience can see you. Guys, we'll really appreciate your feedback. Okay. Uncle B, they can see you. They can see the two of us. Can you see the two of us, please? Can you see the two of us, please? Cholu, please confirm if you can see the two of us. Oh, okay. Thank you. So, Uncle B, we can go on. Yeah, they said they can see us and they can hear us loud and clear, which is the most important. I can see you. I know it's because of the internet. So thank you very much once again, Uncle B, for choosing to do this. Thank you. It's been a beautiful experience with you in the community, and I think I should come out here to say that. Thank you very much. Everybody in the community has been amazing, has been fantastic, and I just thought I should say that to Uncle B openly. So thank you
You.
very much, Uncle B. Thank you very much. Okay, so
Thank you so much too.
you're welcome. Thank you, Ghost Stitches. Thank you. Okay, so Uncle B, do you want to introduce yourself to us? Tell us as much as you want us to know about you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone, or should I say good day, everyone? Because we're in different part of the world. So I'm just about 10, I mean, 1 p.m. here, about 10 minutes after 1. So you guys are 8 p.m. or 8:10 p.m. So it's better to say
Yeah.
good day so that I don't have to say good evening this afternoon. All right, my name is
Okay.
Abiola Hussein. So, but a lot of people call me Uncle B, and I love the sound of that. So, and I have another friend who turned into Uncle BBB, right? So, that's also awesome. Yes, I am someone's ex and another person's future. So, and
Okpo. You have started.
And I'm also a father of three. I'm a renowned IT consultant. I currently reside in Canada. And beyond IT, I'm also a businessman. So I own a logistic company here in Canada. And what else? I'm a fun-loving guy. I love to party, but when I tell people I love to party, they look at me like, this Baba Sale or Baba Jai Jai. So I kind of coin it to fun-loving person. So it depends on the kind of fun you now see. Anyway, what else? I think I'm a very systematic person. I kind of pieces things, complex things. I pieces them into tiny bits. Then I solve the problem one after the other. That's the kind of person I am. And if it's not problem solving, if it's creating value, I also try to pieces the milestones or the journey into tiny pieces so that I can actually have sense of progress, sense of accomplishment, even though they are baby steps, right? So that's how systemic I can be, and I can be complex for whoever wants to be in a love relationship with me because.
You are becoming
Um,
complex already, sir.
yeah, and finally, I'm a teacher. I like to teach what I've learned, and that's me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's nice having you. People sure could be some love, even if not for anything, because it is Valentine's Day. Sure could be some love. Show Uncle B love. Okay, so Uncle B, thank you once again for joining. This series started on Monday, and today is the last day. And we have treated we've had different conversations around divorce, separation. And today we are going to cap it up for the series on Instagram Live. Next week, Saturday, I'm still going to make that announcement. We're going to have a webinar where we're going to have a couple who will come and speak with the people in the community. So tonight, I want us to move into something deeper, like emotional silence and masculinity. For many men, silence is not indifference. It is training. It is protection. Sometimes it is survival. And I think Isaac said something like that. How that their silence at times can mean they're just trying to cope with the situation. It's not that they are being indifferent. And tonight, it's it's not about exposing the pain. It's about allowing the truth without shame. Uncle B, are you ready?
Yeah, yes, yes. Bring it on. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. I like the sound of that. So let's do it. And the first question will be that so before I ask the question, I just want to say who is this person that is hailing you in the chat, Uncle B? I just want to say that we're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to
Okay.
go back to the beginning, before marriage, before divorce, to the boy child, to the boyhood, because I am not one of the counselors or coaches that treats consequences, that treats symptoms. I like to go to the roots, because the boy you see today, the lady, the girl you see today came from somewhere. Whoever he or she had become today started from the way he or she was raised. And so that's why I want us to go deep in, go back into the boy child, the boyhood stage. So, and the first question would be, what were you taught about expressing pain as a man?
Hmm.
This is to educate people. This is to help people know that that man, that guy, that boy, and today is Valentine, so I think it's a good time we are treating this topic. The person does not have to misbehave and you just give up. You try to check patterns. So, Uncle B, uh, what were you taught about expressing pain?
Oh, well. I would say that um, the societal templates has
Mm.
actually said that men are not meant to. Men shouldn't cry. You hear the word like man up, be a man. Then unfortunately
Yeah.
for us, from the entertainment industry where our worldview is also molded, we have the likes of Rambo, Robin Hood, all those actors who are kind of they don't have pain, but they are superheroes who solve problems, who create things. So they are subtle consciousness, like a bias. So you kind of want to be like that Robin Hood. You kind of want to be like that Rambo, Sylvester Stallone. You want to be like that Van Damme. You want to be like that Bruce Lee. You want to conquer everything. You want to beat the bad boy, the boss in quotes, the villain. You want to actually conquer everything. That is the model that we all were brought up with. So when we became adults, we all have this mentality that I have to provide everything, I have to do everything, right? And I have to be the Van Damme, the Bruce Lee that does not feel the pain. Even if I, even if I'm something hits me, I should have the strength to bounce back. So that's the wiring in our head. And in terms of parenting as well,
Mm.
if you are also the firstborn and you are the son, you've been you've been actually given so much responsibility that you cannot express pain because they're already telling you you're a failure if you show pain, if you show that things are impossible, if you show that you cannot do this, except for the Gen Zs that don't send this day, that say, hey, come, my mental health problem. But we that we are Gen X and millennial, we don't do that. You have to man up. You have to man up because that's what the society has, put into us subconsciously. So when we now became adults, we have to now take decision for ourselves, for someone's daughter, and for our own children. It's a whole
Mm.
lot. So by that time, you don't want to show that you are not the Van Damme again, or you are not the Bruce Lee again, or you are not the Jet Li again. You have to still show that whatever. So, but however,
Mm.
um, as things go on, we now realize that, as you become older, you now realize that, man, you have emotions and you have to acknowledge the emotions and you have to find a way, to communicate the way you are feeling to someone, right? But
Yeah.
unfortunately, when you now move forward also in that situation, like in marriage, and you now have a partner who also has already had this picture that a man can never fall. A man has the strength. A man must figure out everything. If you now just say, hey, I am not that man again, you say, what will happen to my children? What will happen to the family? What's going to happen to the upkeep? Yeah. So you rather want to manage that panic,
Mm.
right? You rather want to manage that panic and say, no, okay, let me not talk so that I don't create more problem. Let me just keep it inside of me, right? So those are the ways we learn pain, how pain should be managed, and that's the situation we all find ourselves in. Yeah.
Wow. Pain was learned. Mm. I'm trying to read what people are saying. Nobody is saying anything. What do you think about what Uncle B said? Pain was learned. It was the conditioning from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Uncle B is a millennial, that's why he's using all the Van Damme and Jack, whatever. Some of us don't know all these people that you are calling. Some of us don't know all these people you are mentioning, right? But I get you that you were conditioned to be the superhero. You were conditioned to be the Prince Charm that must come and sweep princess off off her feet and take charge of everything. And so when it becomes difficult, um, when it becomes, because you also go through pains, isn't it? you also go through pains, and it is difficult to break down, to be vulnerable. Because by the time you're being vulnerable, even the lady, the woman you married, was also conditioned to depend on you. And so it's like you're a weak person. And so that's where it started from. So, Uncle B, the question is, and you mentioned something about Gen Zs, that they are not green at all. They don't want you to put any pressure on them. In fact, they will prefer not to marry. I think that's the pattern I am seeing about them. They prefer not to be married, to be like, okay, let's just be doing baby mama and baby daddy up and down. So how do you think this information can get to ladies? How do you think? Because this is very fundamental. We need to understand. Yeah, some ladies will say, "Oh, when we started, he was all mushy mushy, he was loving and all that." But I think from my own observation, I realized that the mushy mushy, the first 3 months, 4 months, 1 year tops, and the guy just feel, "No, I'm becoming too vulnerable." And that's when, and it's just an unconscious thing, and that's why it seems as if they start pulling back to say, "What's happening here?" So how do you think the man is supposed to explain this fact? When we say conversation, communication, how do you think the man is supposed to educate the woman? We are here, we are doing, this is part of educating them, but for somebody's somebody's son that is inside the house with somebody's daughter right now, how do you think they need to have this conversation so that it does not deteriorate to hurt and all that? Do
Yeah,
you
thank you
understand
for
that question?
that. Yeah, I understand. If I get you right, you are saying that how should a man communicate to his partner when they have emotional issues or some things are not going
Yes,
on right? Yeah, and
yes, you got it.
you know, okay. So now I like, just like you said, you like to get to the root cause. And just like I started with my opening speech, I'm a very systemic guy. So I break things
Mm.
down into tiny pieces, assemble them to make sense. So,
Bring it on.
so you pardon me if my ejowewe will be long, but I just like to, express, myself in a way that
Mm.
people can easily follow through. So now
It's
let's go
very
back to.
important we have this conversation. It's very important we have this conversation, even if that's the only question, because a
Yeah.
lot of people will be watching this video. A lot of people are already doing things that are not correct and pushing their men away. So
Mhm.
this is like educating us. So please let's go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so let's go to the fundamentals, right? So the fundamental is that you are a boy and uh, your spouse, or I mean a girl, right? So you went through some parenting patterns, right? Then at the end of the day, you became an adult from the things you learned from the parenting. So for the man, the parenting has said, you are the man of the house, man up, don't cry, do this, solve problem. Subconsciously, he has become that kind of a person. The woman has been saying, hey, you come out to lolly oko, you should go to husband's house. Learn how to cook. You must learn how to clean. You must learn how to do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are the one cooking today. So there has been this thing in the head that, okay, mama lolly oko, I'll go to husband's house and I'm going to marry a strong woman, I mean, a strong man who is going to provide everything. Why may I
Yeah,
take care of the home fronts, right?
yeah,
So the nomenclature is there by default now. They all grow, get educated, now become adults that they feel they can make decisions for themselves, right? And they decided to, come together in a relationship and put it together, it becomes a marriage. But one thing each person fails to understand is that you are once a man before you become an husband. You are once a woman before you become a wife. Now, if I put it in my fun-loving, joking manner, you want to buy trouble. You are your own as a man. You are your own as a woman. You have mastered your emotions from the things you have learned over the time. You have been able to control yourself if things go bad or if things go right. The only thing you know is about you. Then you now feel that, I think I've had enough. Let me go and buy more trouble. Then you decided to go into what they call marriage. So you have added another title or status to yourself that requires another curriculum, another learning style. But unfortunately, the love stories in the magazines, in the novel, in the movies did not tell us that they are only showing us the good side. But the other side that requires some degree of mastery, they didn't say it. That one is behind the scene. So, when you now go into a relationship, it means that you are accommodating the excesses of the other person. It means that you are already saying, I'm open to challenges that will come with those new roles. You are saying that I'm also open to whatever it takes to balance it, even if we are having some turbulence. It is this consciousness that both the man and the woman don't have. And that is why marriages, relationships break. And I always tell the Gen Zs and whoever that care to listen, if you know you don't have enough emotional bandwidth to accommodate other excesses, don't do relationship. Just do on your own. Remain that man, remain that woman. Don't go to change that man to become husband or that woman to become wife. Because what you are doing is you are buying another set of challenges. But do you have the currency to pay for it? And that is where emotional intelligence comes in. Those are the things we all don't have, and we're in this WhatsApp group. Because we refuse to acknowledge the logic behind it, that we have gone to buy more challenges. We have gone to have more added stress. We have gone to, but do we have the emotional bandwidth to deal with that? And let me tell you how I came across that thing. I mean, this formula I'm telling you. The first time, I mean, when my marriage crashed, 14 years marriage crashed. Let me call it 17 years because we're dating for 3 years before we now got married. So that makes like 17 years investment. But I lost it. And unfortunately, the tussle of the separation and everything also led to my children being estranged. So it's like the whole of my support system is gone. So I now went for therapy. And my first day, you needed to hear my ranting. I was just rant. And the therapist was just, Abby, Sonia. You will know, I believe you know her. Uh-huh.
I do.
So, yeah. So she was just there. The only thing Abby did that day was like this. How we talk. But I will not end my story with something. I messed it up again. I'll talk like this, I'll handle it. Now I have crashed it again. I'll do like this, and said, now I have destroyed it again. And after she listened to me for almost 40 minutes, she said, Uncle B, so who can you say you are? As I'm already a bad man, I don't have what it takes to manage a relationship. Now even my children have testified to it that I'm good for nothing. And he said, that is not you. The you that I've listened to, from all those things you said you did, before you now use those your destructive sentence of I've ruined it again, is that you are trying your best, but your best was not enough. And the only thing I can say is this: you don't have emotions to process things that come your way. You are rather responding, and you're rather reacting rather than responding. He said the entire thing we need to do in this whole therapy of 13 weeks is to see how you are going to have sufficient emotional bandwidth that can let you handle other issues. strategically and logically. That was when it clicked on me that the whole thing that happened in all this relationship is because we are not aware of the challenges that come with the next phase we went to subscribe. And we don't have sufficient bandwidth to handle the pressures, the tension, the challenges that come with it. So now, what's the way forward? The way forward to that, based on your question, how does a man or a woman try to express themselves when they are, let's not say they have emotional issues now, when they are not able to handle the challenges, the pressure, the friction? Here's the point. The first step is to unlearn who you were taught you are. I have now learned to unlearn that I'm no more Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Van Damme, love you. I don't know anything. I cannot even solve all the problems. I just desire to that is who I am. If problems come my way, if challenges come my way, I handle all of them the way they come. I'm not going to use the same template to solve all of them. I need to sit back, understand where this is going to. I need to interpret it well and create a landscape for positive outcome before I even try to make an attempt. And that is what they call response. And if you hear when they teach people about response, they say, take a deep breath, pause for 10 minutes, and 10 seconds before you say. What they are trying to tell you there is that define the problem, define the solution, look for the most appropriate way to get the best outcome. Simple. If we all deploy this strategy in every relationship, you will realize that there will be no fights. There will be no fights. The day I wake up moody, and because I have some issues with business or pressure at work, you will know that he's not being moody because he wants to disconnect or throw me away. He's moody because he's dealing with something. But how do I help him get out of that mood? It is that response. But someone that will react and say, I don't know what's wrong with him. He woke up, he's not just talking to me. Just woke up, I don't even know what is it. If he's not doing it again, let me know so that I'll find my way. The same person talking like that is also not taking a back seat, taking a deep breath. Look at it from, define the problem, then define a solution that comes with what? Positive outcome. The day we all take it as number one responsibility to learn about our emotions, to learn how to regulate our emotions, we are going to have beautiful relationships. And I've tested on it many times. And one lady told me at some point, said, if you are this sweet, how come your wife left you? I said the version that they left was weary. This actually is a refined version. That's all I was saying.
Wow. Thank you so much, Uncle B. I love the direction you came in from. And I love the fact that you're able to explain everything in total. And I can see people saying, people saying thank you, thumbs up, people appreciating what you said, because the truth of the matter is that is the bottom line of everything. For the people in that WhatsApp group that you just described, that is it. It started with you not knowing yourself before you carry another person matter for head. So, not understanding the difference between role as a husband and wife and the role as being a male or female. That's a gender. It's different from role. And so you just assume, you just lump everything together such that you just went into a relationship like that. With the fact that you don't even know yourself and you want to go and know another person, you think you'll be able to define and conclude and teach or change somebody else to be what you want them to be without you understanding who you are. And I love the fact that you talked about therapy. And it is just a training that we have to say that for everyone going through challenges, either in their relationship, in their career, or whatever, it is lack of identity. If you know who you are, then you will be able to work on whatever. You'll be able to confront whatever challenges. And that is where the capacity building comes in. If you're able to build capacity to be emotional intelligent, to understand a lot of things about humanity, about yourself, then it will be easier for you to handle any situation. And this is what I tell. I'm sure you will agree with me that this is what we teach in the community, to say, can you leave the other person and face you first? Because if you understand who you are, it's not even only in romantic relationship alone. You will be able to manage and thrive in every relationship you find yourself. And I'm so grateful that you have done this, you have given us this expository speech, if there's any grammar like that. And thank you very much. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want us to be so excited about what Uncle B is saying. I want us to listen to what he is not saying. Our journeys are different. Who are you is the question tonight. Who really are you? Before you went into that relationship, before you got married, and who are you now? Who are you willing to part way? That's you that you are now. Are you willing to part way with it? Because every experience, your life with that person was not an empowering one. Has nothing. So because Uncle B, I'm saying that because some people are like, that is me. If you cannot cope with me, let him go. Not knowing that you need to work on yourself. You need to build some capacities. You need to have that boundary. You need to understand that bandwidth. You need to have it. That will help you. Some people don't even know how to relate with their children because it's part of it. If you can't work on that you that is not giving you good experiences, then you will mess up your children because you're going to be raising them in that way, yeah? And you're going to mess up their innocence. You're going to mess up their the way God created them. And you are the first, they say family is the first unit, it's the primary unit. That's the first place. And that's the place where we all learn. So that behavior about your mommy that you did not like when you were younger, and by the time you grew older, you became married, you saw yourself behaving like mommy that you did not like. And you think it's safe. It's not safe because you didn't like it about mommy. So don't expect that anybody will like you. Can you work on yourself? That is the bottom line of all this. And these are part of the things we do in the Sunshine Hub. Yeah? It's part of the things we do in the Sunshine Hub. The framework, the template that Uncle B just described is what we use. We help you to find you, help you to build capacity. We don't treat, because a lot of times people come into the Finding Me class and they're expecting you to say, okay, you are hot, you are this, and okay, if you do this, this will happen. Do this, go and do this. What we do in the Finding Me class is help you to build capacity such that you find yourself in any situation, you are emotionally intelligent to handle any situation, even outside relationship, romantic relationship. Yeah. So thank you very much, Uncle B, for responding to that question intelligently. Uncle B said he's an educator and he has educated us. If you appreciate it, please celebrate Uncle B in the chat session. That was a beautiful one. That was a beautiful one. So talking about silence. Silence is one of the things that women complain about when we talk about men. Yeah. Um, he just went silent on me, and men also see it as maybe power or something. So, how did you people come about silence? How did you learn to stay silent instead of speaking? How did men learn that? Because it's costing us a lot of pain.
Okay. Let's put it in a very basic way so that everybody can understand. Um,
Okay.
People go silent for many reasons,
Hmm.
right? Some people go silent as a way to express grievances, displeasure. So when I keep quiet, I mean, I'm just using that as an example. When a man keeps quiet sometime, it could
Hmm.
just be because he's angry about something somebody has done, not necessarily the wife, right?
Mhm.
But he's managing the emotions inside of him so as not to misstep us. And it happens to some women too. They just go quiet. They just don't talk.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
they are
True.
doing at that time is managing their internal conflicts, right? Managing the rage inside of them. Because at that time, they don't want to say things that would destroy a lot of things, right? Some, maybe their husband or partner, let me just use spouse, has already offended them in a way. But out of respect, all right, and perhaps because of a family unit, the children and everything, they could have flared up, but they said just keep quiet. It's an expression of grievances or displeasure. But an emotionally intelligent partner, we know that, my babe is somehow reluctant. What's going on?
What's going
Then
on?
we create an environment for meaningful conversations. And
Yeah.
that's where the emotional intelligence come in. See, I've said it. If you're not ready to learn about yourself, don't bother to this correlate. Just date as a man or date as a woman. Don't go to husband or boyfriend or fiance. Don't. In short, you are even stretching it far to now go into father and mother. Father and mother. You just over parent here. You just want to. So, an emotionally intelligent person will know when the partner is happy. Will know the default template of everything is going on fine. And when something goes wrong, that is, they go quiet or silent, you will know something has happened. Emotional
Mhm.
intelligence requires that you trace back few activities. What could have happened? When did this start this silent treatment? What are the activities that happened? Did I say something? Did I do something? Did something happen from outside? You did whatever, whatever. What you are doing at that time is to scan the atmosphere to know what could have happened. And that
Yeah.
time, if you are able to spot what happened, you can easily dilute it and say, kilo day, you know, they give you the right vibes, so kilo shele, girlfriend Uncle B, you know they do like this before now. Oh yeah, I was thinking, so the past 2 days or 2 hours ago was when you started this, and I was just thinking, what could go wrong? And I'm just thinking, was it because of what I said at that time? Even if you said no, you have shown an interest in our emotional well-being. With time, you're losing up. And it doesn't happen to just people in relationship. Of recent, 2, 3 days ago, I noticed that when I'm taking my daughter to school, she just keep quiet and she has this. And I was like, what's good? There's nothing. Nothing. Okay. Let me not push too much. You know all this Gen Z plus Gen Alpha. They I can push too much time. You know, but I look for means to say, yeah, maybe you have things going on for you and all of that and all of that, but all I just want to tell you is that you have what it takes to handle whatever comes your way. And I'll just see this kind a bit of relief. I just yesterday when I was dropping out, I said, Dad, I did all my tests and the maths that I thought would be too difficult. And I realized that I over prepared for it. I said, so was that why you were a bit tense?
You were
She now
moving.
started smiling. I said, you see, you are aiming for the best, but at the same time, you are hurting yourself. All you just need to do in life is believe that you have what it takes. Put in your best, then have this peace in your mind that you are the best and you get the best. Simple. What have I done in 3 days? I've been scanning her emotions, knowing if things go wrong or not. Our own silence is not because I offended her. Our own silence is because she's battling with. So silence shouldn't be misconstrued for disengagement. Somebody, we are all human beings. Remember we said you're a man, you're a woman, I'm a man. Before we now subscribe
So it
to
comes
different kind of
husband and
wahala.
wife. Yeah.
Those wahala will come, but how are we handling it? That's the situation. So silence should not be taken for immediately for sign of disconnection or disengagement. Now, we've talked about silence being used as to express grievances either internally or externally. Silence also could mean that coping mechanism. Someone like me, I'll use myself as an example. Once I have it going on rough, just know that I can appear like as if I'm totally disconnected. Though not, what I am doing is I am looking for solution to my problem internally. I am either thinking it, I'm either using affirmation internally to find the right path. And at that time when I'm finding those solutions, any external interference is a whole lot
It's
for me.
distraction.
That's the word. It's a distraction. So at that time, what I want to do is do everything to avoid that distraction. You might be in the sitting room, I can go to be in the room. You can come and meet me in the room, I can find a way again and go to the study room. What I want to do is I'm incubating the solution to my problem. Right and hope. But is that right or wrong? Maybe right for my own solution to my problem, but wrong because I'm not communicating
The
it to
other
the
person.
partner.
Yeah.
Now, and here is it. When they say you want to communicate it, communication doesn't start at that point where that silence or turbulence is happening. Communication is to have started long ago. And that's why I said, if you're in a relationship and your partner is not ready for meaningful communication, or meaningful communication or conversation, my dear, find a way and leave that relationship. Because I'm not saying it's a straight jacket reason why you should leave, but anybody who cannot sit for at least 30 minutes, 1 hour, and have meaningful conversation. When we're talking about meaningful conversation, we're talking of conversations that are deep. Deep conversations that let me know you better. Deep conversations that let you know me better. That conversation about my mode of silence will have happened in those moments of meaningful conversation. And I could have said, you see, when you see me in that mood you saw me last week, it doesn't mean that I'm not interested again. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to punish you. My own adaptation, my own success model is when I'm looking for solution to my problem, I stay quiet, I stay still till that answer comes. And when you find me in that situation, it is not the time to be asking questions. It is the time to be empathic. And empathy means this. Instead of saying, baby, what's going on? You are not talking. Did I do anything? Did I offend you? Is it this? All those questions are interference to that thing I'm already finding answers to. What I need in that time is, baby, I noticed that you've not been forthcoming. Is there something I can do to help you out? That is empathy. You notice. You are empathizing. Now, you are taking me to a landscape where we can both find solution to the thing. When I say, no, I don't think so. You want to hint me? Maybe we can both find solution to the problem. I tell you, the therapy for that silence is probing questions that start shifting me away from the trouble, but now start making me to talk. And because of talking, perhaps I can find the
Find
answer.
solution. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I said solution to that silence is not in that time when there's turbulence. Solution to that silence is when you've had meaningful conversations. That way you've already noticed how I deal with complex issues. I just go in there back to myself to solve the problem. The same thing for the man when it comes to a woman. When you're studying is that she's not, you know the different templates, but this is not my babe. Not question, no. Not like what's going on. Why are you not saying, you don't share? Why are you doing that? If there's problem now, why not talk about it? Let's solve it. No! They are complicating the issue because she's already having internal conflict. She's finding a solution to it. She's finding the right way to express it so that you are not hurt. She's finding the right place to it so that she doesn't feel guilty for saying what she's saying. That's not when to now push him harder or push her harder. That's the time to now say, well, baby, maybe we should go for a walk. Maybe we should watch this movie. Oh, maybe we should do it weekend. You have to empathize, acknowledge that they are not in their default template. Then find a way to put them on that pedestal that will bring them out of it. Be complain about why are you doing like that? If you don't want to talk, that's your business. So me, I tried my best. No, that's not the default template. She's already in another landscape. Your points, your own responsibilities, take her back to the default template. Give reassurance, give support. And if we all learn all of these things, hey, you know what this thing they call too good to be true relationship. That's how we are going to experience.
Uncle B has become a counselor finally.
Yeah, so that's my answer to silence. The solution to silence is understanding the root cause why the silence exists, and the kind of it supports to bring them out of that mood back to the default template. That's
it. So thank you very much, Uncle B, for another education. That is what you have done. And I love the fact that it's really engaging because I see people acknowledging, and I see a question in the comment section that I'm going to read out shortly. You say what Uncle B has explained, and it is, if you listen to what Uncle B said, you would know that Uncle B was not like this when he was in his marriage.
I was really,
he had to he had to learn it, and he has become this person who is educating others. And I'm going to say it again. This is what we do in Sunshine Hub. We help you find yourself, and you're able to bring out that best part of you. You'll be educated. So if you want to join Sunshine Hub, please send me a DM. Follow, then send me a DM, then I'll send the link to you. But going back to what Uncle B has said, he has expressed, he has told us two ways with which people use silence. They use silence to express their displeasure, and sometimes it is a coping mechanism, right? But you see, for those of us who had gone through that stage, you have had, and as you are listening, you know the mistakes you made. I can say that in love of us, this silence thing was killing us, and we started reacting the way Uncle B. You see the reaction of Uncle B brought up. But the problem I think we all had was that when it happened the first time, it happened the second time, we were not paying attention. Because I believe if it had happened the first time, and after the drama, people talked about it, to it, you would over time would have gotten used to, oh, he's silent, he just needed space. Oh, he's silent. Okay, this silence, let me try and talk him out of it. You will not be angry to say, me too, I need you at this time. Why are you like that? Or me too, I need you. It will be something like, okay, not that you're silent, I also need you. And I think that's the question Christy is asking. How do you handle a situation when you are in that silent mood and your partner needs you? partner also needs you. But that does not mean he is not in a silent mode. But I believe that over time, the two of you would have grown to understand the silence and help each other come out of it. And you know, there's something we call the healthy boundary. So you need somebody, the person wants boundaries, the person doesn't want to talk at this time. You can leave the person as long as whatever your need is, it's not a do or die thing. This is what we call relational intelligence. And we are saying this for people who are already divorced. You want to pay attention to all these patterns so that it does not affect your next relationship. Statistics say 75% of second marriages end in divorce. You want to think, oh, they ought to have learned, they have to have known what happened. Why are they ending in divorce again? It's because they are not paying attention to these things. And I wish people are listening and paying attention to this because it is very, very important. Somebody is moody and you think you want to bring the person out and you want to force the person out. The person is entitled to his or her mood. I think part of the things we do in relationship is we just believe that we're entitled to the person's life. And the truth of the matter is, either male or female, you are not entitled, because you are married to a woman, you are entitled to the person's life. I also believe there's supposed to be growth. You should be growing. The way you were when you were dating is not the same place or the same way you will be after 3-4 years. You need to learn on the journey. Pay attention. If that person is keeping quiet, that doesn't mean the person does not love you anymore. Uncle B has just dramatized and described how to help one another, how to help both parties, how to help yourself out of. And sincerely, I have heard men talk about, I just needed time to think. I just needed time to reflect. But auntie wants drama every time. And this is why we say a lot of times love is not enough. We need to understand each other. We need to understand those gray times. There are times that there are times, and it is normal. It doesn't show that that person has fallen out of love. You need to learn all things. Thank you very much, Uncle B. You just said it now. Silence can look strong on the outside, but internally it can feel isolated. And the question Christy is asking is also, so this is where that comes in. That we all need to be sensitive and be mindful, even if it means at that point, my dear, I don't think I can talk. Can you please allow me a moment? Just allow me to clear my head. I'll come back. That's being mindful. That's if you have the bandwidth. Because there's some silence you just want to be, even with your children. And that's the time you go and lock yourself into the. You just don't want to talk. We are human beings. People are not robots. You don't expect people to snap out of their emotional state. Of course, we need to learn and grow. We can't continue to be the same way forever. So we need to learn and grow on our journey. Silence can be really random. It is usually learned. We learn all these things and it can be unlearned. It can be unlearned. So if silence is causing so much trouble in your relationship, you want to unlearn it. And I know that it's a journey. It's a journey. Like we always say, it's a journey. And somebody just mentioned that understanding is basic. So Uncle B, while we round up, because it's 9 already, I actually still have some questions to ask, but I want to ask this particular question. If men were allowed to grieve openly after divorce, what do you think would change?
If they are allowed to speak or express grief or what? Can you say that question again? I didn't get it right.
If men were allowed to grieve openly after divorce, what do you think will change? But before you respond to that question, I want to read what Christy said. Christy said, I also believe this has to do with attachment styles that haven't been dealt with. It's all everything what we're saying. You need to heal, you need to work on yourself. Attachment style, all these were conditioning, they were conditioned, they were the kind of conditioning that we have growing up, avoidant, anxious, secured and all that. We need to, and you can't know all these things if you sit down to process it alone. You need to see, you need to see counselors that will help you to unbox. You heard of Uncle B saying that he had to go through counseling and therapy. They will help you unbox and help you trace all these things. So we're still talking about the conditioning and how not to be the way we used to be. So yeah, Christy, you're correct. Attachment style, avoidant attachment style is unhealthy. It's very, very unhealthy. So Uncle B, the question is, if men were allowed to grieve openly after divorce, what do you think would change?
Well, I don't think men are restricted from grieving openly after divorce. Men just have this template of I can figure
Of
it.
not being vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm the man, you know.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
fellow men will laugh at me if I kind of grieve, but ordinarily that's what we need to do, really. But I think let's even assume that is allowed in the according to the societal templates, right?
Yeah.
Even if we do that, if men are able to express their grief openly, not even for divorce, anything. See, if you lose anything, if you lose a contract, you will grieve. You will go through that grief process.
Yeah.
If you lose money in a nanny.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Uncle B is back. Guys, please confirm if you can see and hear me so that I'll know where the hitch is coming from. I can't hear Uncle B anymore.
So sorry about that. I just want to prevent the call from coming. Someone is at the door. All right. So let's look at let's not put a context to the grief. Let's not put a context to the grief. Let's call grief what it is. If you're a businessman, you lose a contract after spending so much money to pursue it. You're not just going to act like nothing happened. You will go through that grief process, right? And when you're going through
Yeah.
that grief process, you will definitely say, tell your friends, your wife, whoever, and say, I lost that contract after I spent so much money. This is the grief you are going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you lose anything you lose that is already in your possession because you are aiming for, once you lose it, naturally, it's just that we're not paying attention to our emotion. We go through that grief process. At the beginning, we will live in the pain. After a while, we get to denial. From there, we get to telling ourselves the truth. From there, we move on. But we go through that process. It's just that we are not conscious of our emotions are traveling through each of the stages. And the same thing has to do with separation or divorce. A loss is a loss. You've been with someone for 10 years, 5 years, whatever years. You've been together like a family and whatever. And suddenly, it's all for me, if there's any, since the past 2.5 years, if there's any date that I dread the most, it's Father's Day. Because when I was in the marriage, Father's Day was always a special one. She would make a special meal and everything and make sure, no matter any part of the world I am, I must go back home because I know that day she will make a special meal. All of us sit together at the table as a family She will pray. The children will tell me things. Ah, Daddy, we love you. We love things you are doing for us. That's it. But I've never had this in the past 2 years. And so this year, Father's Day, if they post anything Father's Day, it's that I wish I would sleep throughout that day and not wake up. because that day, I always grieve that moment. I always grieve that moment. It's a process. You have to grieve things when you lose it. So
Yeah.
men should realize it that to grieve things like a loss of marriage is also out of place, right? But however, when expressing your grief, express it with people with like minds, people that can bring you out of the negative emotions, people that can bring you out of all of that. And either that's what you call open, because you are doing it with 3 or 4 of your close friends who will not judge you. And you find out that when you do that, you get better. I get better faster because I went for therapy program. And at the same time, we have some C-suite program where all of us are, in the same WhatsApp group. Like when I mean WhatsApp group, we're in the same condition. And we can, we are vulnerable to each other. We could talk things out. We could, everybody, nobody's judging anybody. Those are support systems. Those are ways where you could grieve the loss of your relationship openly. Like Sunshine Hub, I don't think that maybe some people are coding, but I think most of us who write often, we always come out with our life experience. Those are the open ways you grieve the loss of your marriage openly. Those are the open sessions, but you have to do it with people with common minds. And when you do that, and people are relating, you realize that you are not alone. You learn from what they are saying. Like me, I've learned quite a lot on Sunshine Hub. I listen to some days I don't bother to type. I just read other people, especially from women's perspective. It's so nice. You just you just realize many things and say, hey, if I'd known this, maybe I would have acted better. And I want to round I want to round it up with this question. This question, I want to round it up this way that we all put in our best foot. We put our best foot forward. That is the best. If we can do better, if we know better, we will do better. I can't imagine losing 17 years of my life around someone and my children, and now they are no more. If I know what I will do to prevent it, I would have done it long ago to prevent it. But now that I've gotten to a level where the other person say, no, I beg, I'm not. Well, life has not ended. I only had another opportunity to do it better and do it better. But when I want to now try it again, I need to go and unlearn the things that put me in that back position and relearn new things that is going to propel me forward. And that's the whole essence of these things we are doing on Sunshine Hub and this IG program. Everybody, see, you can afford to pay 350 or whatever hundreds or millions for courses, but you're not willing to invest in your emotions. How? Because that's the driving force of everything. I'll share something with you of recent. I just noticed that. See, I will tell anyone that cares to listen. Find your default template. Your default template is when it looks like everything is fine, you are happy, everything around you looks good and whatever. That is your original state. Now, create that as a baseline. If anything alters that state, start to ask yourself the question, why am I feeling this way? Why am I acting this way? What's making me to think this way? Once you start to ask those questions yourself, you find out that you'll be seeing those mountains, valleys, and whatever that is putting you on, high and low emotion. And you'll be able to now start thinking, how am I going to navigate better? So of recent, I noticed that when I'm on my desk, my workstation, and I want to start working, I noticed that I find it very difficult to concentrate. In any small thing like this, just for me to start type one statement and whatever, I've gone back to my phone. I'll quickly go back to my phone and go and check the Sunshine Hub or any other group and whatever. I will do before I will forget everything that I planned to do for the day. I say no, this is not my default template. Something is wrong. Something is making me not to focus. Then because I started asking those questions, I noticed that the same thing was happening when I want to pray. When I want to pray in the night or anytime, I just know that once I close my eyes, I say in Jesus' name, like this, many thoughts start flying through my mind. Before I say this, I will leave prayer. I start thinking about those things that are flying through my mind. I say different context, the same outcome. It means that anytime I need to do something that has to do with thinking, creative task, then I have many things that are working against it. So I said, okay, what is the solution? So I went to Chat GPT. I said, see what happens when I give you the context. This. I cannot focus when I'm at Dexter, and I cannot even focus when I want to meditate or pray. What do you think is the cause? Suggest possible causes and let the guy started. The guy now, because I've already programmed my chat GPT in a way that he has a way he talks to me. He knows my thinking pattern and everything. And the guy broke it down. He said, same problem, same outcome, different context. It means that anytime your brain is to downshift and start thinking, you have a lot of unresolved issues, unprocessed thoughts, all these ones that are already in the brain, hanging there in the cache. So once you try to now do creative thinking, it means you are opening up the space. Then the brain start pushing in other things that you have not thought about. So what's the way forward? Do you know the way forward? Very simple thing, which I've been following in the past 3 weeks, and it has changed my life dramatically. Let me tell you. It describes my brain as a very active brain that accommodates challenges and willing to solve them. He said that is your brain structure. Your brain, you are wired to solve problems. So your brain is always looking for problems and it wants to solve those problems. He said, well, you have many problems solved in your brain that your brain is not processing. So anytime you open the whatever for creative tasks, you will point in those for results. He said, so the best way for you is journaling in the night. He said, offset all your thoughts to the paper, to a journal. Then pick important ones out of it as your outcome for tomorrow. So just pick only 2 or 3 as the outcome. I never knew such a simple practice. And he was doing my accountability coach every day. He sends me a message. It's time to do this. Now let's do it. He pushes me through the process. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Do you know that? Now I can work on creative tasks like as if I'm a machine. Not because AI is helping me, because I now learned how my brain is working. I understand the biology of my brain, and I work along with the way my brain is designed. How many people is concentrating on how they feel? How many people is concentrating on how they think? How many people is thinking about their emotions the way it should be? We will buy books, so we will go for seminar on other things, but the things that has to do with our emotions and our mind, we throw it in the trash. And that's why we find ourselves in the same position all the time. If there's anything you have to invest on in this life, the most, if you have training budget every year, invest in the things that has to do with your mind. You start with therapy, you start with you asking the relevant question with as many tools as you can find, right? It's like you knowing your personality, do your personality test, know your default template. And once life issues start to take you away from your default template, find a way to put it back. That's the only responsibility you have in life. Once it takes you out, you find a way to put it back. That's it.
Thank you very much, teacher B. Thank you very much, Uncle B, for. It seems as if Uncle B was just talking and telling us stories and all that, but the truth is, Uncle B is opening our minds to things we take for granted. Is it journaling you are just hearing, guys? You're not just hearing about journaling, isn't it? Because some of those things are so simple when we talk about them. And we are African. If they have not said you should put oil on hot stone and say babalawo 1 million times, you think it is not going to work. Several times we have talked about journaling. Several times we have talked about affirmations. Guys, all these things work. That is the only way you can put your mind at rest. That is the only way you can stop ambiguity in your mind. Affirmations, journaling. These are all the things we teach. And the basis of all this is capacity building. If you're able to build yourself to the point, guys, I always say this in Sunshine Hub in the community that your divorce is not the problem. Your divorce is not the problem. You need to find yourself, and that is where the problem is. Because everything we need for life, has been given to you. It's in you already. It's in you already. Some of us are just so used to scrolling social media where different ideas and opinions jump at you and makes you lose yourself. And you lose your own essence by listening and scrolling on other people's opinions and taking it in. I'm glad Uncle B is talking this way. I'm glad when he started, he said he used to be somehow before he became this.
Yeah.
And that means it is possible. I have gotten to that point. You know, when we say people should join meetings, people don't show up. When we say we have webinar, people don't show up. And I made up my mind that, okay, if it is only 2 people we can reach, then, because we are all entitled to our opinion, it is our lives and all that. But you see, guys, because some of us are passionate about helping people, see the passion with which Uncle B is speaking with. Because he felt, guys, you need to understand it. You need to know this. This is the basic. This is the basic. Find yourself. If you're able to find yourself, then life is easy. Please. He's not coming. He's not paying upkeep. He's not. I know these are issues. But instead of fighting, social media will give you a lot to worry about. And you will lose yourself. That's the truth. And some of us will do this that we are doing, even if it is just 5 people that show up. We are taking and we are watching. You will see some people's life changing, and the same people that, and some other persons that they are in the same community together are still struggling. The same thing they are complaining about 2 years ago, the same thing they are complaining about now. That's why some of us are turning pastors to liars. Because in that same church, some of the church members are becoming millionaires, while some people are still not doing what the pastor is telling them to do. Guys, it's about you. Uncle B just said something. Feed your mind so that your mind will feed your pocket eventually. Invest in your mind. Very important. Very, very important. Thank you very much, Uncle B. I'm not going to say too much because you have said a lot today, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for throwing yourself out, for choosing to come out to talk about it. And guys, please listen. Next week Saturday, we're going to be hosting Yomi Thomas and Dr. Ebunlomo Fawole. The 2 of them were separated. They were divorced from their previous relationship, and now they are now married. We're going to be hosting them on Saturday, the 28th of February, 7 p.m. Please send me a DM so that I can send a link to join the webinar to you. It's going to be for 2 days. Day 1 is going to be for the male and the female, while day 2 is going to be, okay, so it's Friday and Saturday. Day 2 is going to be men exclusive. We want to have the serious talk with the men in the bottom. So please send me a DM and let's pick it up from there. Thank you very much, everyone. And with this, we come to the end of Unspoken series. we are moving on, and we're going to be having our Finding Me coaching class in March. If you want to start speaking the way Uncle B is speaking, you want to join that class. We are not joking. I keep saying it on this platform that we are changing the narrative. We are changing the narrative, and that is going to be the news at the end of 2026. Thank you very much once again, everyone, and thank you once again, Uncle B, for joining. This is me saying Happy Valentine's Day and have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye bye.
Bye.